Hi, this is Mark. In this video, we're going to take a look at color override and color selector mattes. Oftentimes, you'll have environments where your characters are going to be in a night sky or a sunset setting, and you'll have to tone these characters to those environments so they fit properly. But what we sometimes like to do is pop the eyes back to normal colors so that they are brighter than the rest of the character. In this example, what we're going to do is darken the character and isolate the eyes. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to grab a color scale and I'm going to connect that to my character. Next, I'll open up the layer properties and I'll lower the value from a 1 to a 0.5. Now we have a darkened character. What I could do is go inside the group, find the eyes, and use them to isolate outside as a matte. But what I would prefer to do this time is I'm going to use a color override. I'll wire that to the character to the right port, and I'll wire the bottom to the integrated matte port of the color scale. Next, I'll open up the layer properties of the color override. We have this training Toon palette and its swatches. We know that we want to pull the eyes away, so instead of using the individual color overrides where we can change the colors of a character, I'm going to select the next tab, which is Render Selected Colors Only. Next, instead of Render All, I'm going to select Render Selected Colors. And that effectively has changed the way that the color scale is working, because right now it's not showing anything. What I want to do is reverse this. So I'll just double click the little icon of the matte of the color scale to reverse the matte. Now my character goes back to being dark. And what I want to do is select the colors who won't be affected by the color scale. One of these is the eye. So if I drag this in, see how not only the pupil but the teeth and the flower were painted with the same color swatch. And so now these are all being unaffected by the color scale. If I drag the pupils in, now you can see the pupils are no longer affected by the color scale. And this color around the eyes, I believe, is color number new 12. Now if we close the layer properties, you can see the differences between off and on. We're using the color override to matte out pieces of the character so that it doesn't get affected by the color scale. Another way to do this instead of using a color override is to use the color selector node. I'll just type in color down here and choose my color selector node. With the exact same way, I'm going to plug it into my color scale's integrated matte port. And in the properties, now I can choose which colors are actually being extracted from this character. I simply have to click the plus sign, go to my training Toon palette, which is the character, and pick the colors that I want to isolate. So I'll choose the eye, I'll choose the pupils, and I'll choose the new 12. So just like that, we've been able to isolate these colors to not be affected by the color scale in the same way that we could previously do with the color override.